Hello everyone, I'm your host Get Good Fox, and yes, I'm just gonna hit the button. I'm literally right where I left off. This is some State of Decay 2 Beta Lethal Action, and we're gonna be talking about how good the corner office is, because I guess I haven't talked about it, but it's a good thing that I caught myself. So first, let's go ahead and get this fixed up. I do need some supplies, and we're gonna take care of a few like little loose ends, maybe do some looting. Oh, looks like we got a quest. Always good. But what we're gonna be talking about is how good is the corner office. And spoiler alert, I'm a little apathetic to this question. And why am I apathetic to this question? The answer is because these bases are very, very similar to each other, and I do think that's a problem. Let's take a look at our base. So what we've got here is one large facility, which we are using on the trade depot, and we also have 5 small facilities. That is functional, that's serviceable, but let's look at some of the other bases. The church on the hill is 5 small and 1 large. The bridge fort is 1 large and 4 small. So our progression is no large, 3 small, 1 large, 4 small, 1 large, 5 small, 1 large, 5 small. This is going to be like 1 large, 6 small, and this is going to be, I think, 2 5. 2 large, 5 small, and then this is going to be 2 large, 6 small. Anyways, my point is that 1 large facility, it's not good. And the fact that there's so many bases... Oh, let me get mouse off the screen because it's going to photobomb me. The fact that there are just so many bases that have either no facility, no large at all. Like, it's okay if the starting home has no large. It's an incentive to get out of the starting area. But, and I think it's also okay that the first base, the 4-man base, only has 1 large because it's a bump up, but it's still not incredible. I don't think I like the idea that 3 of the other bases that are bigger, like they are the 5-man bases, and one of the 6-man bases only have 1 large facility. And I just think that makes the bases worse. Now, one of our commenters said that any base that only has 1 large facility is just never going to be a good permanent base. And I agree with that. Like, I mean, that doesn't mean you can't live there. You can do lethal zone from the first base. If you do the trade, I don't think the trader legacy ever requires you to move bases, and I don't think the trader legacy ever requires you to build a... What is up with all these grumpy butts? Or these neutral guys? I'm getting kind of tired of these neutral guys. I might enact like a no fence sitting policy. But anyways, you can complete the game, I'm pretty sure, from the starting base, as long as you choose the correct legacy, one that doesn't require you to build a large facility. So you could just stay in the starting base. So it's not... When somebody says... a base with only 1 large facility is not viable, they're not talking about it like literally. They're talking about it like in terms of just having a solid base that's, you know, on average enjoyable. I say on average because, yes, some people will have that preference. But I would say the people who have a preference for bases that have 1 large facility, I would say, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that they are very small in number. So, the main thing, like, so first off, like, what's funny is, like, I'm supposed to talk about the corner office, but there's not a lot to say. The benefit here is that you get a kitchen. That is awful compared to the church. The church gives you the bell tower. And you basically, you would never want to use this base. It's smack dab in the middle of the city. So it's smack dab like in the most concentrated area of zombies inside a city. It's a very indoor base. Indoor bases, the more indoor bases, the more you are inviting the possibility of the AI derping out. It is kind of unique in the sense, you know, one thing is kind of positive, but like this is a unique thing. It's just a cosmetic thing. It's kind of unique. Like, I guess here's the interior tour. I guess it's kind of a unique thing that the base is like multi-floor. Like you've got 2 floors and a roof. Yeah, I agree that that's kind of unique, but that's a very cosmetic thing. And I admit, you know, the sandbags on the roof, it's cool. I mean, I don't know why the sandbags would be on the roof other than to protect you from hostile humans. And hostile humans don't attack your base except in the Trader's Legacy. Not the Trader's Legacy, the Builder's Legacy.
I see a bloater over there.
But overall, I don't know. It's... One large facility is not good. Like... And I guess what I want to talk about is... I think Undead Labs needs to change their mindset with bases. And I think they overestimate or underestimated like the way people would build their bases. Or okay, I think I got a way to describe it.
I have something of my own.
I believe Undead Labs puts too much of a premium on novelty. I think they believe players find novelty in the game to be a source of game fulfillment. Now what do all these terms mean? It means that a lot of things that Undead Labs do, they add a lot of like funky like things in, like, oh, check out these outfits, check out these gun skins, aren't they so cool? This is gonna prolong the game, right? Well, like, here are some bases, like, oh, isn't it cool that, you know, they have a theme going on, they only have one large facility, isn't that cool? Like, that's what makes them unique. It does make them unique, but it also makes them bad. Take Marathon. And that's the issue. The issue is that, yes, it is an unusual quality of Cascade Hills bases, but it also makes Cascade Hills bases bad. And that's really the issue. So the only bases that are really viable are going to be more and more and Container Fort. And there's not going to be a whole lot of difference between them either. I think it's going to be like the difference of like one facility, because the bonuses, the built-in bonuses, are largely negligible. That's my prediction. I'll know when I actually see them and get like a good refresher. But overall, I gotta say so far, Cascade Hills is probably the worst map for how meta the bases are. Now, I know for some people, meta is like a swear word for them, but meta also can just be what's fun. And people can argue that fun is subjective, but I don't know. I think that the amount of people who are going to say that having a base with only one large facility is fun are going to be like in the single-digit percentages. I have no way to prove that, but like, based on what I observe from, you know, being the largest State of Decay 2 content creator, that's what I noticed. Like, I've never seen anyone say, like, thank God this base only has one large facility. That's what really gets me going in State of Decay 2. And to bring it back to the corner, oh, looks like we might have a fight here.
Are you sure this was legal?
I don't know. The restaurant had a few health code violations. They always kept their license. Here we go.
Choke point right here.
This definitely isn't my favorite idea.
Oh. Oh, I love that. I love it when they, like, just barely, they just walk in a little bit and then they get, I got a better idea. Better idea. Yeah, this specific restaurant has a roof that you can shoot through. Oh, I'm so sorry, zombies. I will obliterate you from on high. You know, it's funny? This would be a defensive fortification. Like, think of it from a game, you know, like, think of it from a gameplay perspective. What if you had This is basically a donut. This building is basically a donut. What if you had a base that was just like a donut like this? You could just climb up and shoot down at the zombies. That would be... I mean, in terms of State of Decay too, and what if there were no facilities on the bottom? Because zombies can't... It's not like 7 Days to Die where zombies can climb ladders. They would have...
No securing a place
They would have no way to get up here. That would make this like the ultimate defense for zombies, because like they can't climb ladders. Let's go mop them up. Yeah, and then the bottom floor could just be like a kill zone. That's funny. Okay, I think we're clear. But yeah, that's the problem with the corner office. One large facility is like the bare minimum. Yes, it's enough to get going, but you have to constantly swap out the facilities. Like, you know, you're going to use the trade depot for a while to collect some resources. You're going to use the lounge for a while to level up your characters and, you know, like, improve your morale. You might need to switch to the auto shop so you can upgrade a vehicle. And while, sure, like I said, it's true. Some people play off meta. Like, they don't use a trade depot, but that's the minority. Like, most people play the game efficiently. Like, most people, they're like, okay, this is powerful, that's what I'm going to use. And why is that? Because, you know, we know. Okay, let's, like, some people say, I don't understand why people just use the strongest stuff. I'm like, okay, no, we understand. We're gamers. We know why. We know how gamers play. Gamers are attracted to the power, to what, they either are attracted directly to the most powerful strategies, or maybe the second or third most powerful strategies. And if not, they are attracted to what they perceive to be the most powerful strategies. It's just how that's how gamers are, you know. And it's like that in that's not unique to State of Decay. It's like that in all games. Gamers are always going to be attracted to whatever is considered meta, because meta means efficient, meta means powerful, and I just don't see anyone being attracted to this base. And I don't mean it literally. Yes, there are people who like the corner office, but like I said, those are going to be people who are very small in percentage, and it's more of like it's like a quirk thing. It's like that's their gamer quirk. They have a fondness for an inefficient base. Now that's fine. You can have a fondness for an inefficient base. Like, if I just really like, you know, like, Pokemon's a good example. There are Pokemon that I like, and I don't care if they're bad, I just like them. I like the way they look, I like the way they play, and maybe they're not competitive, but it doesn't matter. I just like them. That's perfectly fine. But like I said, if I'm going to review the base, but what am I going to do? Review it on how quirky the building? Wow, like this base is a high percentage of getting niche people, like 5% of the population that's going to like it. No, you're going to rate it based on how good it is, and how good it is means extracting how fun it is out of the equation. Now the thing though is that fun usually is also meta. Now sometimes fun isn't meta. Sometimes just meta is kind of boring. But in State of Decay, fun, the meta trends towards fun. Like, Whitney Field is awesome because you can build so many things in it. 3 large facilities, 5 small. You can build so much in Whitney Field, and that's what makes it fun. Plus, it lets you farm a ton of money, and the money lets you do fun things. It lets you buy whatever you want from the bounty broker. It lets you buy like everything you want from every single wandering trader, mysterious trader, rare skills trader. It lets you do all of those cool things, and that increases the fun. Corner office is going to be a pain. So one thing I haven't really talked about on corner office is what are one of its positives? Well, it has, I guess you might consider, an unusual amount of small facilities. 5 small facilities. I mean, is that unusual? I don't know. Like, you know, compared to some other bases, maybe. What about, here's a good example. What about Camp Kellenquah? Camp Kellenquah on Mare Valley is 2 large, 5 small. And Camp Kellenquah has a kitchen. And Camp Kellenquah provides some built-in beds. It's not just better, it's almost twice as good, because the second large facility, okay, twice as good would be like, you know, like 2 and 5, but like a second large facility, that is so 2 is like the comfortable minimum, because you can have a trade depot and you can have a lounge. Oh, also, you'll notice these are back. Maybe you noticed that they were gone last episode. That is a glitch currently in the game, where if you have outposts and you change bases on the beta, it will get rid of your outposts. They will come back though, because you also lose the upgrades on your command center. The command center needs to be re-leveled up or rebuilt up. And I'm just gonna turn water on for no reason at all. No! Oh, that was so close. Oh my god. Almost deconstruct. Let's get the trader in. The match trader.
Someone here wants to trade with us. Might be a good idea
Where?
to talk.
So far away.
Delivery. Got enough materials here to build just about anything.
Let me drive away from the base because I don't want them to get eaten by ferals along the way. That actually does happen. Someone in the Discord just mentioned that he called in multiple traders, and every one of his traders got eaten by the zombies before. Oh, there's a feral right there. Time to drive away before he gets eaten. Now, why does that work? It works because the game doesn't actually go through its combat when you're too far away. Like right now, this guy here isn't actually in the physical game world. Right now, he's basically just game data. He's been despawned. And that's why, like, you'll be able to see them, like, go through objects they can't. Like, they might be able to go through, like, a full mountain range. And that's why, like, they would be able to walk past hordes and stuff, and why don't the hordes attack them? The answer is because when you're too far away from the combat, the game just simulates their data moving around, but it doesn't actually simulate combat. No, you don't. They were like, oh, I can't wait to eat me a materials trader. Haven't had me, you know, need some iron in my diet. Can't wait to chew on that rebar. Oh, I thought that was a door. I derp. But that's my conclusion on the corner office. I think it stinks. In fact, I think most of the bases here stink. I mean,
You ready to do this?
All right.
so some of them get exceptions. I don't think the bridge fort stinks because it is a 4-man base. And obviously, the only thing that saves, what do you call it, the church is the bell tower. If not for the bell tower, the church would also stink, and this base also stinks. I guess I understand some people like the corner office, and like I won't disagree that it is a cool looking base, but I will absolutely say, like, just in terms of how good it's not a good base.
Let's help each other out.
Okay.
And overall, I'm also gonna say that I know, like I said, once again, I know people like Cascade Hills, but that's not going to stop me from saying that Cascade Hills stinks. I don't think it's a good map. And I think that Undead Labs needs to rethink how they do their bases in State of Decay.
Each other out.
And I think bases are too limited. I think bases need to be larger. Here's what I like to see. I would like to see bases have unlimited construction potential. Like, I would like to see a system where the size of the base isn't relevant. All that should matter is the location of the base, and if there are any unique, one-of-a-kind buildings in the base. I think that's all that should matter. Otherwise, like, you should be able to construct the base as big as you want, And I don't think that would be a problem because there's a lot of games that do that. There's a lot of games that let you make the base as big as you want it.
Interested in trading?
All right.
And the limiting factor is just how many materials you have. Like, what's a good example? A good example is... Let me just sell some of these knives and stuff.
Let's make some more storage space before we start losing
Oh my god,
stuff.
I hate how... Like, there's like a glitch right now that you can't scroll all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, see, I can't... There's more knives there, but I can't scroll to the bottom. 7 days to die, though. You can make your base as big as you want. And that's because you're only limited by how many materials you have to construct the base in the first place. I think that's good enough. I don't need to sell any of those. So, thank you, good sir. Let's go ahead and let's keep getting on more materials because we are going to build more.
For supplies?
We've got people on it.
And I think if they did that, what if you could build one of every facility, or what if you could build multiples of every facility? I think that would be a lot more
We're
fun.
here, so I'm starting up.
Now, the counter argument is that, oh, but having limited facilities means you have to pick and choose. You have to choose which facilities you want and which facilities are not worth having. But the problem is that causes the bases to look really similar because even though it's true there are a solid number of facilities, most of them suck. Most of them are not good. And once again, people are always going to, and like I said, when I say people and I say always, I mean like 95% of people, like not the specific people who specifically want to play in an off-meta manner. Most people are not going to play in an off-meta manner, and I think that's kind of who you build the game for, because that's the vast majority of people. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't build quirky things, but for the most part, yeah, you're probably going to build the base for people who are playing to win, essentially. Okay, I expected to need to deal with those guys, but I guess not. I just want to kill them now. Look at all those bloaters. Is that like 5 bloaters? 1, 2, oh god, 3, 4. I'm just gonna clean these up. I'm pretty sure there was a 5th. I'm pretty sure there was a 5th one there. Oh, he caught up to me. Not bad, Mr. Zombie. But not good either. But yeah, my point is that if Undead Labs removed the size restrictions to bases and let you build as big of a base as you want, presuming that you I don't know, like just make the buildings cost a lot of materials or something, then like one...
Someone's missing. We need you to help find them.
Oh, got a random quest. One, then you could actually maybe you could use facilities that are kind of like, they're kind of neat, like maybe they would be fun to use, but they're not good enough to fit into a normal build.
This should be useful.
And I think that would make the game a lot more fun than having these very limited limited bases. In particular, bases like the one that we're currently talking about, the corner office, that have so few facility options that you have to like constantly like rotate, like you have to rotate and deconstruct and rotate them to actually get the benefits from the arrangements of facilities that you would want to. And then conversely, the 5 small facilities, there's only a few that I would consider essential. Let's actually look at them. So you definitely want an infirmary, you definitely want a workshop. On a higher difficulty, I do think the gym is essential, and then the last 2 are kind of up to you. You could, you don't need to have a still. You could definitely have a garden or a hydroponics. And then with the shooting range, you could go for morale, like you could do an officer's quarters. Like there are other options, but those are pretty much all the main options. There are other options, but there's not a lot of options. And I think that a big part of that is just due to the fact that there's not enough facility. What if there was no limitation on building facilities? Then you could actually build whatever base you want. And so I understand that the limited building space is something from State of Decay 1, and that's just kind of how it is. But, you know, sometimes you have an idea, and then you outgrow the idea. Sometimes you're like, hey, this was an idea, that's how we started. But in the end, we saw that this was an okay idea, but there was an even better idea. And maybe that's how I think. Now we can go look for his buddy.
Keep your eyes open. Come back in one piece.
Now, some people would also say, but you're changing the game too much. But here's the thing. My counter-argument to that is like, okay, I understand that you wouldn't want to change the identity of the game. But do you want the identity of the game to be on limited bases? That's part of the game idea. Basically, do you want the identity of the game to be on less fun bases, or do you want the identity of the game to be on fun bases? I like the idea that, like, you know, it can play just like State of Decay, but what if the bases were more fun?
Phew, ain't you a sight.
Let's get out of here.
Before things get worse.
A good idea. Let's do exactly that. That's the way I see it, though. What I see is, if you've got if you got this kind of idea, and the idea was it's an okay idea, but as you expand upon it, you start to see, hey, these are the limitations of this idea, then, well, you should adapt past it. Even if you spin the same idea in a new way, I think it absolutely could be done without adjusting the identity of State of Decay. Like, I think if State of Decay played the same way, but
Don't
with
forget, I just
large
said
bases, I don't think it would change the identity. I think it would still be State of Decay.
It's fine. Let's help each other out.
Sure.
What is this? Pack of cheap smokes, worth 106. You love to see it. And, oh, I haven't scavenged for materials. Oh, I guess that wasn't the materials. What? I thought I did scavenge for materials. The game is throwing me for a loop. But not a loop hero. Well, I'm glad some people enjoyed that game and picked up Loop Hero and said it was super awesome. Yeah, like, that's like a new direction for content on the channel. I'm going to be playing a lot of, like, lower expense games to try to help you guys find new games to play that do not break the budget, but can deliver way more entertainment for how large they are. So, yeah, feel free to check out some of those. Like, it's a rotating playlist of just who knows what. I'm mainly playing, like, lower cost indie games that have a lot of value for their cost. Like, Vampire Survivors is only $3. You will get way more than 3 hours of gameplay out of Vampire Survivors. What a fantastic game that is. We need to refuel. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Oh! This car is sus. This van is really sus. Like, I have a feeling, like, one day that van is just going to, like, do something really, really funky, and I know that already might classify as something really funky, but let me tell you, I have a strong feeling that I need to beware. I need to be careful. I need to not trust that van. Okay, it's got to be this thing right here. Let's just quick loot this. You know, the zombies are coming in right now, so let's just get in there.
Still got dead company.
Quick loot. No, didn't work.
Can't do it.
Very sad face.
Would you
Bingo!
way back? I'll try to be quick.
Haha! I shall escape. See you back at base, boys. And here we are, back home. I think I'm gonna go out real fast and collect the screenshot of Lock and Key before it gets dark, because I don't want to wait another 40, 45 minutes or so for a good opportunity to get a screenshot. But yes, thank you for watching. Thank you everyone who has been commenting for the algorithm, liking the videos for the algorithm. It's very much appreciated. Like that is like, you know, I don't like to hound people about it, but at the same time, it's just true. If I ask people to do it, like it just reminds people that that is an important part of, you know, the creator and viewer experience. Like, it definitely helps. So, like, you know, like I said, I'm gonna try not to hound people about it, but like I said, asking does seem to be effective. So, thank you, everybody who is commenting for the algorithm, liking for the algorithm. So, yeah, let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you are a corner base enjoyer, let me know why down in the comment section. But yeah, of course, subscribe to my channel for more State of Decay 2 content. And of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.